It is the same shenanigans you had in Bomas, trying to coerce IEBC that you must declare us as the winners, knowing very well they didn't have the numbers. Well, it's a lot of debate over nothing because the majority is about numbers, and I think we have overemphasized that. And the numbers are quite clear, who has the numbers and who doesn't have the numbers. Those who are in the minority know themselves and just posturing that they're in the majority. You just need to look at Article 108 of the Constitution and know that the Constitution itself, our own standing orders, clearly define who is a majority in Parliament, the majority party, or the leader of majority, who it is. And it says that you shall be the majority party if you are the party or coalition of parties with the highest number of seats. If you look at the individual parties, UDA has the highest number of seats at 140, followed by ODM, with over 20 years of existence, has only 83 MPs. Therefore, if you look at individual parties, you know who the majority is. If you look at the strict definition of a majority party, in line with the Constitution and the standing orders, it says the coalition of political parties. Remember, early this year, the Handshake Brothers forced through amendments of the Political Parties Act in Parliament. And they created what was a coalition political party. Azimio One Kenya Alliance became a coalition political party. Today, as we speak, Azimio One Kenya Alliance political party is not a parliamentary party. It doesn't have a single member of parliament. Therefore, you go back to the default settings of either looking at whether we have a coalition of parties with a high number of seats, that will be the majority. Azimio One Kenya is not a coalition of political parties, it is a coalition political party. Kenya Kwanza is a coalition of political parties with close to 190 members of parliament, which is a majority. UDA is a single highest party, the party with the single highest number of MPs with 140, followed by ODM. Therefore, that's what I'm saying, the debate we are having is neither here nor there, and I think my friends in the minority should just accept their position, serve the people who elected them in the minority, because that is also a role in government. If we were the minority, we would be happy to serve the people of Kenya in the position of minority in government and in parliament and hold government to account. And that's what I want to call on our colleagues, to take up their position as a minority, hold the government to account. We have nothing to be afraid of, we have nothing to hide, and we are ready to work with them in the minority as we work in the majority to push through the legislative agenda of Kenya Kwanza and make sure that we deliver on all the promises and pledges that we made to the people of Kenya during the campaign. And I think these shenanigans, Kenyans are tired of everyday politicking. I have heard them argue that they have numbers and the speaker, they do not need anybody, including the speaker, to declare who is the majority or who is not. It is the same shenanigans you had in Bomas, trying to coerce IEBC that you must declare us as the winners, knowing very well they didn't have the numbers. They moved that circus from Bomas to the Supreme Court. And in the Supreme Court, they told us the same thing. We do not even want the Supreme Court to do anything. We just want the judges to declare that we won this election. It's the same circus now you are seeing in Parliament, that we will, by force, take over the position of majority. It will not happen. Just like it never happened in Terrormatics in Bomas, like it never happened even with the threats of 1 million men march, I don't know to the judiciary to where, it will not happen even in Parliament. Take that to the bank.
Mheshimiwa, this is a legal issue, and the Speaker of the National Assembly is also a legal stalwart. If it happens that he makes a pronouncement on it, or the contrary, how would you go about it?
Contrary to what?
If he makes
the speaker in making decisions pertaining to the management and the running of affairs of Parliament is guided by 3 things, or 4 things. 1 is the Constitution of the Republic of Kenya. 2, existing statutes. 3, standing orders and precedents. I don't think there's a precedence of this before. But the Constitution is quite clear If you read the Constitution, it clearly stipulates and defines who is a majority party. And it says it is the party or the coalition of parties. So ask Azimio, are they a coalition of political parties or are they a political party? Do they have the highest number of seats? Do they even have a member of parliament under Azimio? Remember, they were unable to field candidates under Azimio because they couldn't even agree on zoning. Therefore, it's neither here nor there. And lastly, the speaker also cannot force anybody to associate or coalesce with anybody else. The Constitution under Article 36 and 38 also guarantees Kenyans their political rights and their freedom of association. That can never be taken away by an agreement that was obtained through coercion and intimidation by state agencies, Uhuru Kenyatta and his former deep state system. Therefore, even those who are in court, I'm sure, because I know there are about 3 parties that have cases in court, I am certain even the judiciary cannot force anybody to coalesce with another or to associate with another. Because the Constitution guarantees you inalienable rights of association. The freedom of association is a right that cannot be taken away from you, either as an individual or even as a corporate body like a political party. Those are freedoms that are enshrined in our Constitution that cannot be taken away by any court, by even the speaker, by the former regime, and whatever agreements they are riding on. Any agreement, and you know, is a principle also in law, and I'm not a lawyer, I'm an accountant. Any agreement or anything that is obtained, any agreement obtained under duress or by coercion is null and void and doesn't exist. So even the agreements they may have obtained from people. I had the leader of UDM, Senator Ali Roba, pretend that they never signed anything. But people still claim that UDM is a member of Azimio. Why is it that the Azimio coalition party has never made public? Have they shown you those agreements? Have they shown you UDM signature or PAS or Maendeleo chap-chaps? Some of them say they only signed a piece of paper that had a dotted line with a party name. They never saw the agreement. There is no agreement that exists. And if they were certain, I hope they have shown even new members of the further state, because nobody, except probably their chairman and the other leaders who are coercing people to join them, has a copy of that agreement. If it exists, maybe they could show us who signed where.
The balance sheet at the moment doesn't look good for the country and even for the government that has taken office. And as the person that will possibly be tasked with leading government business, what proposals do you think Parliament can come up with to boost the financial soundness, noting that the country's economy is not even in IC, it's literally dead?
Well, I'll not say the economy is dead, but was on the verge of dying. And I think we made it clear from the word go that we were inheriting very many problems that were bequeathed on the people of Kenya by the former regime. And we have a plan. And if you listen to the engagements that we had with our members of parliament in Naivasha during our parliamentary group retreat over the weekend, was basically to address all the issues, especially the economic issues that bedevil our country, and agree with our members, and we also be reaching out to members of, other members of parliament who are not there, those who are in the minority, to join us in pushing through the legislative agenda that will realize a better economy for our country. Within the Kenya Kwanza plan, we had, since we all live in this country, we knew where the country was in, and we had very well laid out plans on how we will revive our economy. And some of the legislative proposals that we discussed over the weekend will be coming to light. I don't want to discuss them now. And we will be reaching out even to those within the minority to support those legislative agendas to be able to move our country forward and get our economy back on its track. We have the will, we have the know-how, and we have the plan that will see Kenya get back on its feet very soon. And it's indeed true, the situation is dire, and I'm only appealing to Kenyans to be patient with this government. We would be desperate if we didn't have a plan on what needs to be done. We have a plan. We know what needs to be done, when, where, and how, and we will do it. Wisha.